Howdy, America. POS Fireside Chat, Sunday recap edition. There's the fire. Getting a little high tech with this thing. Vaughn was going to be in this, but he got scared and he vominosed. So, very big weekend in sports. Got a lot to talk about. Just trying to figure out my little camera holder, zoom in, thingamajiggy. So, a lot of great things happened this weekend. A lot of things that happened that, didn't go our way, but you can't expect to win them all. So we'll start off with that stuff. So big congratulations to a lot of the teams that did not advance in the football championship playoffs. The Grenada Bobcats in 1A, they had a great run. Unfortunately, ran into a buzzsaw called Idalia, which has been pretty dominant in the world of six-man football for many of years. So, hey, congratulations to the Bobcats. Hell of a run. Also, in eight-man football, unfortunately, the McClave Cardinals just couldn't get it done against Simla. That's a tough team. McClave knew it. I think they took them on in the first game of the season, went to triple overtime. So, maybe a little too early facing them out the gate, and then Simla had some time to take notes and figure out a way to get it done. So, tough gig for McClave, but then in 2A, I'm still getting them all confused between 2A and 3As, especially when one sport's one number and the other one's a different letter. But Lamar, unfortunately, couldn't get it done against Eaton. Lost to the Reds 14-0. I think the only person happy about that is a friend of the show, Austin Eckler. So congratulations, Coach Tyson and the Lamar Thunder on a great season as well. And then, of course, in volleyball action, Pueblo West, you had a great run. Coach King was recognized with a Pioneer Award at the state volleyball tournament. So well-deserved. He's done a great job with that program ever since he left the Eastern Plains of Holly. So great job there. And then also Lamar Thunder, they had a great state run, ran into some tough teams up north. So best of luck next year. I think that they're going to have a good shot at doing some great things as well. So, all right, now to the fun stuff. We heard about the state championship that came to McClave. Volleyball, first one ever. They have had an opportunity about 4 or 5 times in volleyball, but this was the year that they got it done. And what an unbelievable achievement for that town. And what makes it more special, and I heard Melissa during her interview with CAF Sports, how the girls she's coaching, including her own daughter, their mothers played together in that tournament. And we got to see them in high school when we were all in high school together. And they had a hell of a run. So, wow. Congratulations to the McClave Lady Cardinals on bringing home a state championship. I mean, the whole community, and not just McClave, but the surrounding towns. I mean, you have people that didn't even graduate from McClave that are sending their kids there. There's some of my old classmates that are now teaching at McClave. Their kids are going to school playing volleyball. People from Eads, people from just Lamar, all over. But when it comes to things like this, you got the entire Southeast Colorado region, or pretty much Pueblo as well for all of us transplants. So Uncle Kevin made a really great point that there's no fans like this in Southeast Colorado. So very proud of you all. We can't say enough. Hopefully we get a few interviews with some of the girls and Coach Melissa. And since your brother didn't come through on that T-shirt for me and Uncle Kevin, just putting that out there. So now in football action, here in Pueblo West continues to dominate. So hopefully if we have no wrestling on Saturday, we might make a trip if they have that home game against Heritage. So Pueblo West is in the state semifinals. They take on Heritage. As of right now, it says neutral site, but that game should be hosted in Pueblo West based on their higher seeding. Also, Pueblo Central, they had a tough one. They were victorious 36-34 at home. So they will advance. They will take on Meade on the road. And Meade was the team that knocked off Pueblo South this weekend. So unfortunately, Pueblo South, great team, as we know here, in the Bulldog household. They made it to the playoffs, but lost to a very tough Meade team, the number 2 seed in the state of Colorado. And then, of course, Pueblo East, they lost a heartbreaker to Discovery Canyon. Here there was some controversial calls there at the end, but unfortunately their season came to an end against a pretty tough Discovery Canyon team that they also saw earlier in the season. So those teams are both young, very loaded. They're going to continue to do some great things. Unfortunately, we get to see them for a couple more years. Again, we only cheer for you when we're not playing you. But, we wished you the best this playoff run. So now it's Pueblo West and Central. And then let's talk a little bit more about six-man football. The Cheyenne Wells Tigers, dominant against the Rickery. They will host Idalia in the state semifinal matchup at John Scoff Field. I love the name of that field. My old junior high football coach, wrestling coach, track coach, just whatever he wanted to coach, Scoff did it. Great man. So hopefully we can get another win there, and then those boys will come up here to Pueblo for a state championship. But as Coach Miles and Coach Joel said, one game at a time. So hopefully they get it done next week, and we'll get to see you boys in Pueblo. And then also to our fans up north, Akron, they were also victorious, and they will be hosting that team that beat McClave in Simla. And they are in the state semifinals, so hopefully they can get that done and also make the trip to Pueblo. And one recommendation, I know Aunt Kylie ain't going to be a fan of this. Maybe Sean will. But we need to pull a Ricky Bobby and just cut that cast off a Colt. I know he might have a few pins in there, but can we get him ready for this weekend? Is that doable? Maybe? Yay? Nay? Hopefully. That would be awesome. I know his health is what's most important, but love to see him be out there these last couple games, especially if you make it up here to Pueblo. So, great weekend in sports. It's going to be busier this weekend. So, before we move on, got a lot of thank yous out there. As you know, Chassa sucks. I don't know how much more we can say that. And I'm being the somewhat politically correct one and not quite as, truthful when it comes to how I really feel, like Uncle Kevin and a few others, but it's the truth. We're trying to provide great coverage, and we're just doing this as fun. Again, this started out as Jack's hobby when it came to interviews. He's getting busy with his own sport, so we want to make sure we're providing coverage to the best of our abilities with whatever resources we have. And we use a lot of great partners out there. We share a lot of content. Mile High Report, great folks there doing a lot of great work. We share a lot of content together, so big thank you to them. Of course, John Contreras, John Sports Page, a true legend. Known him my whole life. His son used to whip my ass. I made sure he didn't put any of those pictures in the Lamar Ledger. It was embarrassing enough to get beat that quick. But now his son's helping me coach my little guy. So, big thanks to John for all you do. SoCo Ticket, JJ Valentine, Tony Wright, all the stuff you do for Pueblo between football, volleyball, softball, men's volleyball, whatever. You guys are always great, and great collaboration, especially our times at the radio station, being able to, do this and help us out with our little hobby. Who else? We share a lot of stuff from the Kiowa County Independent, all the school districts that are behind us, McClave. We get a lot of texts. We get a lot of messages of pictures. Hey, feel free to use these. Feel free to do this. Hey, can you do this? So you know who you are that reach out to us. We can't say thank you enough, and we can't cover it all. Trying to cover the Air Force game. Unfortunately, cell phone service was horrible. But a big thank you to the Air Force Academy for hosting us. We had a great time. We were wanting to post some more, but unfortunately couldn't. Find folks at Pepsi. Had an amazing tailgate. Unfortunately, cell phone service was hideous. so we couldn't cover it. And then, last thought. Keep sending in, sharing your pictures, sharing your videos of your kids' successes. We love seeing it. It's the best part of social media. So don't be afraid. Send us a text or email us at thetankpod@gmail.com. Any leads, any video stories, brag about your kids. We brag about ours, but we love it, and it's a great way for us to stay connected. So until next time, Paradox of Sports, Fireside Chat. We will keep you updated on some more college sports. CSUP is in the soccer championships. Their selection meeting will be held on Monday. So we'll figure out how the Thunderwolves soccer team will do. They won the RMAC, as well as Thunderwolves football. They get a first-round bye, and then they will also take on the winner of Augustana, some college in South Dakota, and Minnesota State. So first-round bye, they'll host the winner of that. The national championship runs through Pueblo. If they keep rolling, they will host throughout the national semifinals. So that's what's going on in the world of sports. We will talk to you all later.